Browns need a win without question, have not been able to run the football in the offensive line. Just hasn't gotten it done. Offensive line coach Mike Bloomgren asked about what he's seen from Dawand Jones in the first two games, as well as giving him some rest during that Baltimore game because of the heat.
Yeah, that rotation will come down to Kev and what he thinks is best. I thought that was a good idea to kind of have the preemptive strike and get him some rest. You know, I thought it was, I'm a kid from the South, and I thought it was pretty warm the other day in Baltimore, and he's got 120 pounds on me, so I can imagine he thought it was warm too. So again, we'll see what Kev wants to do from a rotational standpoint, but you ask how he's playing, and I think like you look at the second half of football there in that game against the Ravens, and it's the best football we've seen from Dawand with very good strain and some very good things. Now, again, there's still a rep of pass pro. We've got to clean up. We've got to get to the point. Like, this is not oh, good job, you're making progress. This is like, you've got to get your job done every play in the National Football League, and especially at his position. We know how quickly everybody in the stadium will see it if he doesn't.
With that, let's welcome in Garrett Bush from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, as well as the Barbershop. G. Bush, tackles have been a problem. Conklin's been out. Cornelius, Dawand. How concerned are you about that? And it certainly seems like Mike Bloomgren isn't really sugarcoating it with Dawand Jones, which is good to hear.
I like that. I'm very encouraged, and it's refreshing to hear. There's a couple of guys who need to be the bad guys in your organization, right? They need to be the bad guys. They need to be guys that are going to tell it like it is and not give you no reprieves. And that is the strength and conditioning coach, your defensive line coach, and your offensive line coach. Those, if you want to play bad cop, good cop, the bad cops are those guys up front, because you need a level of mental toughness when you need to talk about offensive line play. And he's exactly correct. The difference between you having a successful run or a sack and a strip fumble are a couple of steps here or there, your pad placement, your hand placement, and your assignment football. And if you're Dawand Jones and you want to be a franchise left tackle, you have to play it that way all the time. It can't be 40-something%. It can't be your PFF grades. Take it for whatever that is. You can't have the PFF grades being 40% and you grading out as one of the worst tackles at your position, 90th out of 95, I think. And those things translate onto the football field. And those are the differences between us coming back on these conversations on Fridays and having the conversation about why can't the Browns run the ball? Why does it seem like Joe Flacco is a statue and the pass rush is getting home? It's the difference between what we talked about the first half, which was obviously not good reps put on tape. I went back and watched all 22 a couple of times. He's missing assignments. You got to know the guy to block on when you're double teaming and you're double teaming to the backside linebacker. If the backside linebacker is Roquan Smith and you don't get to him, he's going to make that play 10 out of 10 times in the backfield or for a short gain. So he has to figure that out. And I loved what he said. This isn't about, oh, great, we're making progress. It's about, no, you're the starting left tackle. We need to have a certain standard of performance, a baseline. And if we're not getting that baseline, we can't win football games.